This is a quick installation video showing you how to put up a Domi 12 by 16 foot louvered pergola with aluminum roof. Link in description if you want one of these. Comes with a lot of screws and all the tools you need, but you should really use better tools. But get a drill driver with a Phillips head and a Allen wrench head. So first we put the feet on the legs, and then we put the tensioner on the side rods, and then that is the tensioner adjuster post. The 16-foot side rails come in 8-foot sections with metal inserts that go inside of them like that, and then it sleeves in so that they join together. But you want to make sure that the holes line up, because if you put them in backwards, you won't be able to screw things into them. So you see where the holes in the brown there have silver holes behind them. And then you put a couple of bolts in there to hold it in place, and then we put it up high and then just had a guy come up and yank on it to push it together and make it into one 16-foot piece. And then you can see the side rail with the louvers on it connects up to the posts, the foot posts, and then once you've stood it up, you can see how it's going to louver itself together. There are 4 bolts that you're going to need to put in on the back side to hold that in place. And then the 16-foot side rails are going to go in a similar way. There are 4 bolts on the sides that hold those in place, so you just want to get them up into place, get everything in a pretty good alignment, and then go to the back side and insert those 4 screws, banging it down to make sure that the holes line up. Although this was pretty easy, everything lined up pretty well this whole process, so it was pretty good going together. And those are the 4 bolts that are going to hold your side pieces, the 16-footers, in place. Next, on the side rails, you're going to look at your louvers and make sure that they match the ones on the other side on the middle rail, because the middle rail is going to go up halfway in between the 16-footer, bolting into those holes right there. Those 4 holes hold your middle rail in place. So you just put that down into place, stick those 4 bolts into play, and then you are ready to start putting the louvers in over and over and over and over again. Just make sure that they are lined up in symmetry with the ones on the other side. And then install the little rain flashing above the 16-foot piece there. So that'll keep your louvers a little bit drier if it rains. And cover the seams with this beautiful piece of plastic flashing that goes on the side of the 16-foot rail. That just bolts right into place. And next, we are going to put in the curtain rod runners. So there are curtain rod runners all around it that hold little hooks. So you put the little hooks into them and then you bolt them in place, and then you're going to hang your curtains from those all the way around it. And those curtain hangers are just held in place by a few bolts that hold them up high, and then you're ready for curtains. You just also have a access hole here where you can add and subtract curtain runners if they break in the future, and they do give you some extra ones with it. And now you're ready for louvers. It's the easy part, but you have to do it over and over and over and over again. And then you got to make sure you'll be able to climb over the sides of it when you're getting to the last one in the row, because you won't be able to get it from underneath that, just in case you're putting this up against a wall. And there is just 1 screw on each side that holds it down, screwing into those plastic swinging lifters. And you may want to put the tensioner in place. That's the tensioner that's used to open and close the louvers. Put that in place before you put the louvers on, and that way they won't move around on you while you're trying to screw them down. And in terms of personnel, if you can have 2 guys on ladders, 1 on each side of a louver, and then another guy at the bottom handing them up louvers 1 at a time, and each of those 2 guys has a drill, and they're just screwing one in 1 at a time. Do that side and then do the other side. That's the fastest way to do it, so you don't have to keep coming down, moving your ladder, picking up louvers. And then once you're done, it is beautiful. Oh, I see daylight. Oh, it's so perfect. And we also learned that we could pick it up and move it around once we had finished putting all of the louvers on it. So that's another good thing to know, is that it really isn't that heavy altogether. When it is completely constructed, you are able to pick it up and reposition it. And then once you've figured out where you want it, you can screw it down to the ground and you're done. So here's what it looks like. If you want one, buy it using my link. Comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Turned out great. Wasn't too hard to put together.